pro basketball fans, I hope you all had a great weekend. A lot of games to enjoy. But today we're about to discuss something new. Something new we said we'll bring to the Pro NBA, the debating segment. This is our first time, and no better time to start it with a very interesting conversation. Now, in 1979, when Evan Magic Johnson was drafted, nobody knew he would change the landscape of being a point guard. A 6'9" player who revolutionized the point guard position for the Showtime Lakers was just insane. This guy knew what he was all about. Playing for 12 years in the NBA, reaching the NBA Finals for 75% of his career was crazy. So he had that title for a very long time. Then 30 years later, a player who wore number 30 behind his back was drafted in 2009. I'm speaking of Stephen Curry. Came into the league, and for 4 years, we didn't think he would ever touch that conversation. But then there came the diminutive point guard from the Golden State Warriors, taking his team to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. And then we knew something great was going to happen. Even then, the conversation, we couldn't really revisit the conversation because Steph hadn't reached the levels of Magic. Then came the 2022 finals, where he won the finals MVP. And then everybody knew, yes, we could go to that conversation. Today's conversation is going to be all about who the greatest point guard of all time is. Magic Johnson or Steph Curry? George, I'll start with you today. Johnson or Curry?
Take Magic Evan Johnson. So he, according to Google, the definition of a points guard states, the definition of a points guard states that they are expected to run the team's offense by controlling the ball and making sure that it gets to the right player at the right time. Yeah. So we are talking about assist over here. Now you weigh the two players, you weigh Evan Johnson and you weigh Stephen Curry. On paper, Stephen Curry is a points guard. Magic Johnson on paper is a points guard, and on the floor, he's also a points guard. But with Steph Curry, I feel like his play is more of like a shooting guard. Now, you ask a Warriors fan out there, who is the greatest basketball player of all time? Michael Jordan and LeBron James. They tell you Michael Jordan. What is the marking scheme they are using? They tell you that Michael Jordan has 6 rings. He has 6 finals MVPs. He has 5 most valuable player awards. LeBron James has 4 rings, 4 finals MVP, and has 4 MVPs. Well. So they tell you that if LeBron James has more than Michael Jordan, then he's the GOAT. But when you ask a Warriors fan, you ask Muslim kid, who is the greatest points guard of all time? He tells you that Steph Curry. I feel like that's a sentimental chat. Now, when you are going to use the stats over here, Magic Evan Johnson has 5 rings, 3 finals MVPs. He has 2 he also has 3 MVPs. Yeah. You compare that to Steph Curry's 4 rings, 1 finals MVP, and 2 MVP. I think even up to here, the conversation should have been like, okay, then with the stats, then Magic Evan Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time. But hold on. When I started, I gave you the definition of a point guard, and we all came down that it is more of like assist. Now, Magic Johnson era, he's played in the league for 12 years. Steph Curry has played 14 years. Now, Magic Evan Johnson has 10,171 assists as compared to Steph Curry's 5,766. So you see, when you compare this, you feel like Steph Curry is nowhere near Magic Johnson.
So you think it's not even close?
It's not even close. You see, if Stephen Curry would be greater than Magic Johnson, or if Stephen Curry would cement his name as the greatest point guard of all time, then he has to add 1 more ring. He has to add 2 finals MVPs and 1 MVP.
Wow.
And also, he has to add about 4,405 assists to his 5,766. The last time I checked, he's not had these numbers.
It seems like,
of course, Magic Evan Johnson will cement his name as the greatest point guard of all time.
It seems like it's all about accolades for George. Now, Teddy, I know your team, Steph.
Yeah.
How do you kind of rebut what he said? Because it seems like if it comes to accolades, Steph is nowhere near Magic.
So if we talk about the point guard position, we're talking about a quintessential leader, which I think Magic has over Steph. And with Magic's ability to look over the heads of his opponent,
because of his size, of course.
Yes, to assist his players. He brought Showtime into the NBA, and then he entered the league at 19. At 20, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got hurt in the finals championship, and then had to play the center position, and then won. This is the kind of player we are talking about, Magic Johnson. And look, I can argue that he was helped. He entered the league and then he played with the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He played
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar upon all the individual brilliance, all the individual success. He's not been able to take the Lakers to win a chip.
They had only won 2 playoff series in 4 years.
Magic Johnson entered that Lakers side. He's the only rookie to win the finals MVP.
Let me get there.
He didn't get
Let me get there. Let me get there. Let me get there. Let me get there. You see, He played with the likes of Nixon, with the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with the likes of Wakes, and then he was so good. Look, Steph Curry is the legacy. He's the one who started the dynasty. He met the likes of Draymond. Draymond was a second round pick. Klay Thompson came into the league
around pick 11 or so.
There was nothing special about them. The Warriors went to the playoffs once in 18 years. That was their best. That was the best they did until the greatest point guard God ever created came into the league. Look, Steph Curry is able to shoot from the key, from the wing to the corner. He's able to shoot from 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, even from far away from his paint. This is the player I'm talking about, with his movement off the ball, his movements off on the ball. If I say Steph Curry is the best point guard, I'm not talking about accolades like you are mentioning, but I'm talking about how his way of playing has revolutionized the game of basketball. He has changed the game of basketball. Now, if you were a player, basketball is a game where 5 players play. Now, we require 4 of that 5 players to be shooters. Even the center.
To be shooters as in 3-point shooters. Because now it's so
even the center, it's now a requirement. Before, it was more of posterized, protects the paint and maybe mid-range shots. That was it for you. But now it's a requirement to shoot threes. Why? Because the way Steph Curry played the game has changed everything. And this is why he's the best point guard. Because if you look at his game, the way he's playing, the way he has played, the way he's going to play. Look, at this age, at this day and age, he has transformed the NBA for the next 100 years or for the next 1,000 years to even come. This is the Steph Curry I'm talking about.
Wait. You don't become the greatest player by maybe you've revolutionized the position. You become the greatest when you play so well in that position.
Now, look, we have to take it from this perspective and say they played in 2 very distinct eras. Now, Magic's era, they didn't respect the 3-point shot. It wasn't something that they really wanted to do. Magic's Lakers attempted 23s a game, while Steph's 23s a season, while Steph's Warriors could attempt that same 23s in one game. So they didn't want the 3-point shot. So them playing in different eras was kind of different from the way the argument would go. But for Magic, 6'9" points guard, he's been able to handle the ball. The problem is he wasn't a great shooter. So for Magic in this era, so I'm putting them in these 2 eras. So Magic coming into this era will probably be like maybe a Ben Simmons, where he's good on the ball, he can find his teammates, he can make things easier, but he cannot shoot. So defenders won't respect him, therefore leaving a very clogged paint or won't allow a lot of spacing. Steph, if you take him back, will get bullied because of his size, just like how sometimes he get bullied now. And then you have to look at both offense and defense. As a point guard, you can be good on offense, but you also have to be able to defend. For Magic, he led the league in steals for 2 seasons, but that doesn't mean he was a better defender than Steph. It's very arguable that Steph was a better defender, even though Magic was more bigger, very, very slow to kind of defend multiple positions. He could play multiple positions, but defending those was very difficult. Steph, at the latter stages of his career, we've seen that he's bulked up now and can now defend some positions. So how do you kind of make your argument with the eras of basketball? Because if you put Magic into this era, he might struggle.
See, you are trying to convince me to accept, but see, I still stand by where I stand. You ask people out there who is their greatest basketball of all time, they keep on telling you that Michael Jordan, because of the stats. Somebody, if you ask a normal basketball fan out there, why do you pick MJ over LeBron? He tells you because of the stats, because of the rings, the MVPs and the finals MVPs. He doesn't go around telling you, yes, LeBron took teams and he met like super teams and he got dominated. But back in MJ's time, he got it so easy with Pippen and Rodman. They always put the stat out there. So I will make my argument based on the stats.
So based on your statistics and him winning the championships, do you think Bill Russell is the GOAT? Because he clearly won more championships than anybody. So if you want to go that way, then fine.
This is a conversation that most people have out there. But, but you see, I always say, if Steph, because with Steph, the team he's on right now, I don't see him as the primary point guard because it's in recent times I normally see him coming up as a primary point guard. But normally, Draymond Green sits on podcast and tells us that he's the one that runs.
What's his title? It's PG.
It doesn't matter. It's PG. You as a point guard,
he's the PG.
Supposed to run.
Who is the PG?
You see. No, you're getting it wrong. The problem is when you read the definition of a point guard, it said what run the offense.
Run
So run good. And if you check the numbers, Steph Curry has generated more points in the offense. Not basically his scoring. Assists, because he has assisted more 3 points. So he's generated more points of assists than Magic. Magic, every time he's given the pass, is for 2 points. Steph, every time he's given a pass, is for 3 points because of how the game has changed. For my take, I would say Steph Curry is a more skilled basketball player than Magic Johnson. But Magic Johnson played the point guard position better than Steph Curry.
And one more point. Magic was always carried. He played. He played with good players. He met good players when he came to the league, and
Steph also played with KD.
He got good players. He got the likes of James Worthy, if you know James Worthy. He played with the likes of Byron Scott. He played with the likes of Michael Cooper. He played with the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These are names that when you mention in the NBA, people are frightened. These are players who, when you have on your team, people are not able to win you. But look at the only player that Steph Curry had who helped him, you can arguably say was Kevin Durant. That was all.
Let me tell you something.
And he's been able to do it. He's able to win a ring before Durant and post Durant. But the thing with Magic is, before he even entered the league, Kareem was already there. He had already won 2 MVPs. Yes. He had only won 2 playoff series. So you have to take into context when the man got into the league. For the very first year, Magic helped him win the ring. Without Magic,
Kareem was already a winner.
No, he had never won a championship. So immediately Magic came. That was when the difference was made. So you can't say he was carried.
In your submission, you made us know that against the 76ers in that final, Abdul-Jabbar sprained his ankle.
Yeah.
Magic had to step in and play the center position. So you have the points guard so versatile that he could play the center.
He's a 6'9" guy. He's a 6'9" guy. He has the height to play the center position. This is not even an argument. He's a 6'9" guy.
KAJ never carried. He entered 1979-80. He got them their first championship. And you tell me that he got carried? Bro,
he was in the All-Star team for all the 12 years he was in the league.
He always had the best of help. That's what I'm saying. But Stephen Curry never had that help except Kevin Durant.
That is help.
Kevin Durant. He never had exceptional players around him except Kevin Durant. Draymond Green wasn't an exceptional player when he entered the league. Klay Thompson wasn't. Kevin Looney. Cousins, who are these players? These are nobodies.
Man, he carried them. Iguadola there on the team.
Nah, Charlie. See, so before we end this one, I'd like to ask you a simple question. If you are starting your basketball team right now and you've got the luxury of picking Magic or Steph to run your point, who are you going with?
Taking Magic.
Teddy.
Steph, of course. Steph, of course.
I understand you. You're a Celtics fan. You always comment.
So let's say we are drafting. Let's say we are drafting an all-time lineup where we've got the likes of MJ, we've got Kareem, we've got Bron, and we've got probably Larry Bird at the 4. Yeah. Who is playing your 1? Magic is playing your 1. Teddy, who is playing your 1?
Steph, obviously.
Interesting. Now,
a 3-point shooter.
That is what we love about these debates. Steph has completely changed the game with the way he's played. Being able to be picked from half court, he allows the game to be so open, create for his teammates in the sense that the court has become so big now that everybody can drive to the rim. He's able to assist off screens and everything. So Steph Curry has definitely changed the game. For Magic Johnson, when he entered into the league, we had never seen someone play the point guard position at 6'9" or even taller. Now, because of that, we can see players like Luka and Co, who are big and can also play the point guard position. And Magic Johnson and Larry Bird literally saved the NBA. That is the conversation on the floor. Who is your GOAT pick for the number 1 position? Stephen Curry or Magic Johnson? For me, I feel like it's still Magic at the point guard position, but a better overall basketball player. I'll still give it to Steph Curry. I hope you enjoyed the debate. Kindly let me know in the comment section what you think about this one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Pro basketball, more content coming.